Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to all our friends from around the world to Infinity 2020. My name is Greg Saunders. I'm Head of Sales and Marketing for the UK and Ireland. I hope you're all keeping safe and healthy. 2020 has been a year of unprecedented challenges. We have seen our lives and businesses change overnight. As we move slowly and carefully forward into a new normal, I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for your commitment to join us today and taking the time away from your business. Before we begin, we have a question and answer panel as part of this webinar. Please feel free to take the time to ask any questions of our team, and we will endeavour to respond as quickly as possible. My last request is if I could ask that all my are muted. Thank you so much for your cooperation. So, why Infinity? What does this mean to our company, but more importantly, what does it mean to you? Infinity is symbolic of our belief that in unity, we are collectively stronger, sharing a common goal. By working as one with your business, we can jointly achieve true digital transformation of your ecosystem. But how do we define Infinity? By forging and strengthening our relationships with you, our customers, forming a strong sense of community, having true visibility of our future roadmap, understanding the needs and the challenges of your business, acknowledging achievements and success. Today is a celebration, and I want to kick it off by informing you of a little secret. It's our 25th anniversary. What an incredible achievement, and I look forward to many years ahead. But let's not stop celebrating. Today is also our first global event, and there will be many more to come, I have no doubt. So what are we going to do today? What are we going to share with you? Well, to start, we need to hear from our very own CEO and founder. But let's not stop there. Let's also ask some compelling questions of a panel of guests about the new normal and how Xpedeon has played a key part in their success. So, I need to introduce these companies to you. Let's start with J.N. Bentley, based in the United Kingdom, employing a staggering 1,500 staff, a turnover in excess of 300 million. They provide their clients with full feasibility, design and construction services throughout the UK. Golfer, engineering contracting, based in Oman, founded in 1972. Today, grown into one of the largest construction companies in the Middle East, with a turnover in excess of $1 billion. Right, so that's two really good reasons to celebrate, but a party is made up of three. Our final reason for celebration, a series of fantastic webinars written and hosted by our creative thinkers to guide you through some of the exciting innovations our platform can provide. These begin next week, and if you haven't had the chance to register or the opportunity, please do so. Our team will cover managing and controlling projects, electronic invoice processing and the digital supply chain portals, corporate expense management, employee self-service and employee hire charging, engineering to order manufacturing, And finally, they will finish with warehouse and trading management. So all that's left for me to do now is to introduce to you our CEO and founder, Janik. Janik, welcome to Infinity 2020.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Greg, for the wonderful introduction and starting out the event. And really big thanks to all of our customers from around the world who've taken their time to join us for this event. And we appreciate that these are difficult times. Everyone's really busy. So it's really great that you guys are taking the time out to join us today. Firstly, on behalf of everyone at Algorithms, I'd really like to express my gratitude to all of our customers. You're the reason we're here, and you're the reason why we're successful, and you're the reason why Xpedeon is what it is today. We've completed 25 years, and it's been quite a journey. And it's been an exciting and truly rewarding journey for us. And the way we look at it is our partnership with our customers has really resulted in a truly world-class solution for the industry. We've always engaged really closely with our customer base. And it's been one of the most satisfying relationships. It's been bi-directional. We've always heard from you, and we've taken that into our consideration when we've developed our product. And really, our product wouldn't be what it is today without your feedback and interaction with us. Reflecting on the last 25 years, we feel a deep sense of pride and satisfaction on what we've created. I think what we've done is huge, and we're seeing testimony to that as it stands today. We also look at the amount of stuff that we've done. We've put through a phenomenal amount of functionality into the core Xpedeon product. Xpedeon was started out with a restricted set of modules way back in the 90s. And where it's grown to today is quite unimaginable. The number of people who have actually contributed in this entire process to bring the product to where it's at today has been tremendous. And we're really thankful to everyone for having brought the Xpedeon product to what it is. There's also bears testimony to our resolve, right, to ensure that customers have the most comprehensive functionality at their hand to essentially manage their businesses. Right? So we have always looked at how do we turn around what customers are telling us into product and fine tune it over a period of time to make sure that it starts delivering results for our customers. So if we look back now and look at the last sort of 1 year, in reflection, what have we actually achieved in the last 1 year? So if we sort of jump into a quick review of the kind of stuff that we've achieved in the last 1 year, I'd like to break it up into various sections. So we've essentially done a number of core functionality enhancements. So we've looked at some of the key areas of Xpedeon that make a real difference to our customers' businesses. And those areas essentially revolve around job costing. It's about cost and value reconciliation. It's about understanding whether our projects are making margins, whether our projects are losing money, etc. And how do we really fine tune that aspect to a level of perfection? We've always been on a journey on this, right? And because that's always been our mission, is to really make sure that our customers can get that kind of information to hand in the quickest possible timeframes. So with that in mind, we did a number of enhancements in our core, what we call as internal valuation, which essentially helps you to better manage and understand what are the costed completions that you're likely to see on a project, and therefore the project margins. So we've done a significant enhancement, which is part of the recently released 3.0 version. We've also done for our house builders and the developers within our customer base, we've done a significant amount of development to make sure that they get accurate cost at completion and forecasting of the cost at completion on a timeline basis as well. So that's been another major piece of functionality that we've actually brought into the product. So these are two areas where we've really internally looked at how do we make sure that that comes in the best possible format to our customers, and we've delivered that as part of version 3.0. What we've also done is we've delivered, and when we look back, I really need to thank our dev teams. I need to thank all of the people involved in making sure that we take this product consistently moving ahead. We've delivered 400 plus feature requests coming in from customers. So in addition to all of the other stuff that I'm going to be talking about, we've also looked at 400 plus different requests that customers have raised in terms of the kind of stuff that they need to do within their businesses. And we've responded to that and delivered 400 plus feature requests in a period of 12 to 18 months, which is quite staggering in itself. We've listened to our customers. We've seen how their businesses are changing. We're seeing general contractors, for example, having to do a certain amount of manufacturing. The kind of businesses that people are doing is changing at its very core. And we've listened to that, and we've recently released a number of new applications within the overall Xpedeon suite. And those new applications essentially are warehouse management, which works on top of our inventory system to better manage central stores, where you've got large central stores. You need to make sure that your putaways, your pickups, etc., all working in a streamlined manner. So we've brought warehouse management that sits on top of our inventory system. We've introduced sales and trading because a number of our customers are also doing engineer-to-order manufacturing, and they also sell off stock, which they've manufactured. So we've also introduced the sales and trading application on top of the larger Xpedeon offering. And we've really reintroduced the engineer-to-order manufacturing. So we've worked with customers to really fine-tune our engineer-to-order manufacturing, which essentially deals with companies who have on-site construction work plus an off-site manufacturing component. And what we're seeing is a number of businesses transitioning into that model as well. In fact, in the UK, we're seeing businesses who are traditionally house builders who are also creating manufacturing units for pre-built homes, for example. And these are brilliant use cases where engineer-to-order manufacturing system fully integrates with both the on-site component as well as the manufacturing component behind it on a seamless workflow. And that's a great new technology that a new application that we brought to the market as well. We then look at what has been our focus for the last 12 to 18 months at least, is the digital transformation portfolio. As you guys must have seen, we've been making a lot of noise on our social media handles, etc., about digital transformation. And we looked at the larger journey, and we decided to do a number of initiatives, right? And those initiatives we've actually gone ahead and brought in within the last 12 to 18 months. Those initiatives are essentially the digital supply chain portal, which enables our customers to engage digitally with their suppliers and subcontractors in terms of essentially issuing purchase orders, work orders, receiving their invoices, managing their overall information about the subcontractors and suppliers, compliances, etc. All of that managed digitally. So we've taken the first step in making sure that the entire journey externally starts off with the digital supply chain portal. We've also looked at one of the main areas where a lot of companies invest a lot of time and energy, and which is the invoicing component. And the invoice matching process, etc., really take a lot of time interacting with your suppliers and subcontractors in terms of their invoices due. Managing that communication takes up an inordinate amount of time in most organizations. So we've introduced electronic invoicing, which is a technology that we've looked at, and we've taken it really to the next level, which is not only just about reading invoices, but really coming up with a smart matching engine, which enables you to really quickly do invoice processing through the system. So the electronic invoice processing is a new introduction within our larger digital transformation portfolio. And I'm really happy to say that we've really delivered some serious results with electronic invoicing. So, and that's also part of our webinar series. So If you are interested in understanding about electronic invoicing, please do join our webinar series. There's a specific event just for electronic invoicing, and I'm sure you'll find it really interesting. The other aspect that we looked at was corporate expense management, which is really all of the employees' expenses, them going out, their hotel expenses, their travel expenses, business mileage, etc., where employees raise claims on the organization for reimbursement. And we've looked at that and we found that that's a huge area where a lot of customers are spending, again, a lot of time, effort, energy in terms of trying to streamline that process. And we've looked at that and we've come out with a solution that handles the corporate expenses as well. And that's a recent introduction. On the HR payroll side, we've gone ahead and introduced the employee self-service, which enables the employees of the company to engage digitally with the organization. And we've gone a few steps ahead in terms of what employees can do through self-service. So it's not just about making leave applications or viewing pay slips, but for example, making requests, interacting with the HR teams, etc. So we've looked at a much broader portfolio of what kind of stuff employees would need to do to engage digitally with the organization that they work within. And that's part of our employee self-service offering. And lastly, what's very important within the construction industry are timesheets. Where is the time being spent by employees? And we looked at this problem in a lot of detail, and we've come out with a completely out of the box way of looking at timesheets and how timesheets can actually drive a significant amount of value in terms of trying to understand how employees spend time, on what projects, doing what, etc., and coming out with some really incisive analysis on that. So we've looked at the web timesheets part of it and come out with an offering on that as well. So, over and all, there's been a fair bit. If you just look at the overall stuff, what we've done in the last 18 months, it's huge what we've actually put through from a product standpoint. What I'd also like to touch upon is forthcoming introductions. These are introductions which are in the pipeline. Some of our customers may have potentially already worked with us on a couple of these applications that we're bringing in, namely the form builder and what we call as NEC3 for defined cost contracts. And these are what we call as breaking technologies. These will come in the next version under general release to all of our customers. The form builder system essentially is for organizations to manage all of their non-transactional forms within the business. And if you just look into your organization, you'll just realize that there's so many informal forms that are going across the business. All of it on paper, not really getting tracked anywhere. There's no interactive workflows on that. So, that's something that is of real significance to most organizations. And we've got a really awesome offering as far as that is concerned with the form builder. Increasingly, we're finding in certain markets that there's a drive towards defined cost contracts and cost plus contracts. We've been responsive. We've looked at that particular aspect, and we've come out with a specific offering around that as well. So if you're doing NEC3 for defined cost contracts, cost plus contracts, or remeasure contracts under the NEC3/4 standards, then we've got a specific offering that helps you manage that aspect. Finally, while we've been doing a lot of development, one of the things that we identified is how do we empower our customers to consistently maintain business as usual in their organizations. And one of the key aspect and the key challenge that most organizations face in maintaining business as usual on the Xpedeon system is training, right? So when you've got new people joining, people leaving, etc., one of the main things is, how do you get engagement for all the new people who are coming in? And even for existing staff, how do you constantly keep them trained? Looking at that, our support teams took the time out to really go back and think about, what are the different ways in which we can alleviate that pressure on organizations. So they've come up with a whole set of training videos, and these will be made available to all of our customers under support, where they'll have access to these training videos, which they can utilize for training their staff and new recruits. So that's a major initiative that's been taken up by the support teams. We think it's great. And I think you as an organization will benefit greatly from that exercise that we've undertaken. If you look back now, what started out with a very few limited set of boxes, if you look at our application stack today, Xpedeon, it's not just a financial accounts procurement inventory, but if you actually look at the overall offering, this is what our application stack actually looks like today, right? It's huge, it's massive, it's comprehensive, it cuts across so many different functions, capabilities, etc. All of this is based on what we've learned through hard experience with our customers, their requirements, their needs. And we've brought all of that. And as you can see through this diagram, it's become quite significant. So in terms of line of business applications, we're roughly at 18 different line of business applications that sit atop our core financial accounting systems. And then we've got additional technologies, the mobile apps that we released, I think about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and that's been matured as well. We've now brought in the digital supply chain portals, which also interact with the rest of the application stack. But the most important principle about what we have done as Xpedeon is we've maintained complete integration across all of these. So we've never bolted anything on, we've never interfaced anything. Whatever we've done is ground up engineered in a fully integrated manner within the overall Xpedeon stack. So, what's important is that you're not really dealing with bolted on systems. What you're dealing with essentially is a seamless experience across all of these applications. It doesn't matter in what combinations your organization actually uses them. So, looking at what is it that from a core application standpoint, what are our immediate priorities? So when we look at our overall application stack, we see the size and scale of it. There's obviously some complexity that's there behind it as well, which helps us to really deliver that last mile capability that our customers actually require in order to run their businesses. But that also creates a certain level of complexity as well. So one of our immediate priorities, which we're going to start working on and which will roll out over the next few releases and which we're going to make a consistent effort on in terms of rolling out, is to help you achieve greater internal efficiency by simplifying the end user experience. So we're going to look at specific areas which are high volume targets, which we are going to look at and see how do we actually simplify it for the end users? How do we take some of the complexity out in terms of coming out with a really great interaction design, which really helps you do things quicker. So the idea is we're going to rationalize the throughput and we're going to improve speed of getting things done. So while we are extremely comprehensive in capability, in depth of functionality, our immediate priorities now for the next few releases going forward is going to be to rationalize and simplify the user experience so that our customers can get greater buy-in from their users within their organizations. Lastly, and this has been, we've been listening to this from all our customers, our interoperability with Microsoft Office. And we're going to make a concerted effort to really see how do we improve the experience for our users in terms of working jointly with Microsoft Office. So whether it is importing stuff from Microsoft Excel into Xpedeon, exporting stuff out, how do we improve the interoperability with Microsoft Office in totality and looking at that as a significant priority. So these are the agenda items that we're looking at, which we think is going to really boost productivity for our customer organizations when we undertake these. So please do look forward to, over the next few releases, the kind of stuff that we're going to engage in to make this happen. It goes without saying that we're going to look at customer feedback very closely that we've received over the years and factor that in when we undertake this exercise. So looking to the future, I want to take a step back and move away from product and try to explain what our business priorities as an organization really are. For those of you who may not be aware, late last year, we were selected by the Stanford Seed program to participate in a transformation program that they run, essentially that helps businesses like ours to completely transform, re-engineer, and drive towards scale, right? So we've been part of that program. We've been looking at, under that transformation program that we've undertaken as part of the Stanford Seed program, is essentially to look at all of our business priorities. How do we make a change for us and for our customers for the better into the future? And we've identified a number of priorities. So the first priority, and which is the highest priority from us as for us as an organization, is to drive closer engagement with our customers, right? And to really understand their point of view. So, but and if you think about it, the Infinity event really is the starting point for that. What we expect to happen from now and into the future is an extremely close working engagement with all of our customers, to be sensitive to what their priorities are, their challenges, and to make sure that there is a bi-directional flow of information that enables us to make sure that our products, as we go along, and the kind of enhancements that we make to our products make a difference to our customers. So at the end of, that is a significant priority, and Infinity event is the starting point of the closer engagement that we want to achieve with our customers. The second thing, what a priority that we've identified is the rules of the game have changed. There's a lot of new technologies out there. There's a lot of breaking trends happening within the industry, and we realize that we need to be at the forefront of those. Historically, we always have been at the forefront of various breaking technologies. So we are going to reassert that and make sure that we continue to invest a lot more in research and development and be at the forefront of all of those breaking technologies. So we want to make sure that our customers have access to all of the breaking trends at their disposal to make sure that they're always ahead of the game. The third thing, what we've identified is we need to reorganize our support delivery. And we've set ourselves some internal standards that, what do we really want to transition our support delivery mechanisms to transition to? And we've set out some standards which we believe are best in class standards. And we're going to reorganize how our entire support division operates to make sure that you get absolutely world-class support going ahead. And this is a core priority that we've identified, and that's what we're going to be working to during the course of the year in terms of re-engineering all of our practices and processes to make sure that we completely make a real difference in terms of the way we engage and support our customers. The other part, and central to where we started, when we started the business back in the 90s, it was that we wanted to be a global player. We've never really let go of that mission ever, right? We've been through a few ups and downs. We've been through 3 recessions, if I may say so, and we've now been slammed with the COVID pandemic. But we stay committed to our original goal, which is to grow globally. So one of the business priorities that we've identified is to explore and consolidate our existing markets, identify new opportunities in existing markets, as well as continue our territorial expansion into Asia Pacific, the US, etc. And that is a major business priority for us as well. And I say this because we want our customers to know, as an organization, what is it that we are really up to, right? It's not just about the Xpedeon product, it's about the entire business proposition that we bring to the table. And we want to be open as part of Infinity 2020 and make sure that we give alignment and information about what we're actually trying to achieve. One of the things that is also high on our agenda is to improve our visibility and brand recognition. We realize that our customers, while working with us, understand we've got great product, but they also need to know that it's a really visible brand. And that's something that is a high priority for us. And we will be investing heavily in terms of brand promotion and recognition to improve our visibility. And that makes a difference for our users as well as so that they understand that they're using a highly visible brand within their organization. And that's an immediate priority for us as an organization. Lastly, our commitment to sustainable development and growth. So while we're talking about all of this, one of the things that's really core and a key value within our overall organization is our commitment to sustainable development. And we've internally taken a decision that we're going to start working towards everything that we do and review it within our commitment on the various UN SDGs. And we've identified various SDGs that we believe we can make a significant contribution to in our own meaningful way. And we're going to make sure that we stay committed to that. And what that means for our customers also is that we are socially responsible. We've got responsible behavior in terms of sustainability as an organization as well. And lastly, I'd like to really reiterate for all of our customers what our core values of, what are our core values that we've built this organization on, and what we will be continuing to focus on in the near future. So for those who may not know about it, I'd like to quickly talk about innovation is key. We've always been innovative, and we think we're going to go by order of magnitude in terms of our culture, in terms of innovation. And that is a core value of us as an organization. The next, a lot of you bear testimony to this, we work closely with all of our customers. We believe we are equal stakeholders in all of our customers' implementations, their life cycle of using the Xpedeon product, and partnering and working closely with our customers is our core value. And we continue to look at ways of enhancing that. Lastly, trust and honesty. We believe we say it like it is. We would never give a wrong picture, never by design, but that's a core value within us as well. And finally, that culture of going the extra mile, right? And we understand that you guys are always up against it as well. You've got your own growth pressures. We will try to make sure that we go the extra mile every single time to make sure that you are getting the right priorities sorted in your business. So having covered what we are doing as an organization and our organization's priorities, I will sort of shift direction a bit and now get back to product, right? And what are we looking at in the near term and in the near future from Xpedeon as a product for you as a customer? And we looked at, and if you look at Xpedeon today, what has really driven Xpedeon to what it is? So if we look at what has been our mission from a product standpoint, and I'd like to read out where we started and what was our product mission, so to speak. I'm not talking about the corporate mission, but from a product mission standpoint. And our mission has been that we develop products and services that enable our customers to achieve total visibility and transparency on cost and margins. We work closely with our customers to ensure that they have consistent access to rich functionality and true integration in a dynamic and ever-changing business environment. So that's the product mission that we worked with for all these years. And as a result of that, what we've done is we've always concentrated on what our customers require and making sure that we work everything in terms of sophistication, in terms of capability, in terms of functionality for our customers within their organization. But when we look to the future, we realize that there's only a certain amount that internal re-engineering can do, internal efficiencies can deliver. We work in a highly collaborative environment now. So everything that we do, it's not about just us as an organization, but the larger ecosystem that we operate in. And the larger ecosystem in an increasingly connected world now is your suppliers, your subcontractors, your clients, the surveyors, the external agencies. There's a whole host of an external complement of companies that you need to collaborate with and work with to make sure that you can run as a business as well. So we understand that. And what we have now decided as our evolving mission for the future is that we work closely with our customers to drive seamless collaboration and integration across the entire ecosystem they operate in to drive efficiency, reduce costs, and improve margins. So we've completely changed what we look at in terms of a product mission. And what that essentially translates to is what we're going to do in terms of our product offering is not only concentrate on you internally as an organization and driving efficiencies, but build an entire complement of products and technologies that help you work with your external agencies, everyone that you collaborate and partner with in a duly integrated manner, and to look at efficiencies that can be generated in that collaboration. So our continuing mission now is essentially to look at a much broader remit than just internal to the organization. So at this stage, I'd like to set out what is our future roadmap for Xpedeon. How are we going to transition the Xpedeon product going ahead over the next foreseeable 3 to 5 years? What are the kind of technologies that we're going to bring to market? What are we going to concentrate our research and development spend on? And that is what I would like to bring to your attention now. So in keeping with our evolving mission, which is to look at efficiencies in the extended interaction that you have and the ecosystem within which you operate, we looked at a number of different aspects, right? And we looked at trends that are there. So when we realized that, okay, that's what we need to be doing, one of the aspects that we said is we need to have what we call as an enterprise collaboration portal. So Xpedeon in its present form will take a much larger envelope, so to speak, and we will essentially then make sure that there's an enterprise collaboration portal, which essentially will help you work and collaborate with everyone that you operate with within your ecosystem. The enterprise collaboration portal will have at its core the BIM standard for collaboration. So when we look at collaboration, we're not just limited to documents flowing up and down, but it's also the BIM, because increasingly the way we look at how the technology is moving ahead, it's going to be BIM centric when it comes to engineering and construction. We've not really prioritized BIM too much in the past because it's been nascent. It's taken its time to evolve. We believe it's at the right point of evolution now for us to go ahead and build our complement of services and products that can support BIM at its present level of maturity. So we're going to look at our enterprise collaboration portal. The BIM aspect will be properly structured within our larger enterprise collaboration portal, which will then facilitate true collaboration across the board. And that's a major initiative that we're going to be undertaking as part of this. The third aspect that we've identified is while we collaborate with external, all of our, the larger ecosystem, our customers, collaborating with the larger ecosystem, we need to make sure that we've got a different type of a planning that is now required. So we are coming out with a technology called integrated planning. We've not yet coined a name for it yet, but we have an idea and we have a concept paper called Integrated Approach to Planning, which essentially looks at everything you're doing internally, BIM, your external ecosystem, and how do we tie all these elements up into an integrated planning approach on the project. And that integrated planning approach on the project can be reviewed, monitored, and controlled as we go along. So it's about tying up your BIM, it's about tying up the way you internally operate, the different resources that you consume, etc. All of it, including the document collaboration, into an overall comprehensive approach to planning, and which is what we are calling as integrated planning as it stands right now. So that's another bit that we're going to be concentrating on quite a bit in the future now. Lastly, it goes without saying that we're going to prioritize R&D expenditures on artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have been debating on this, we've been cogitating upon it, and we've come to the conclusion, we've come out with certain ideas in terms of how this artificial intelligence and machine learning can be leveraged within engineering and construction. We've had phenomenal amount of experience in terms of the kind of data our customers capture at what cadence the data is captured by our customers, and how do we actually then use that information to drive meaningful, intelligent output on the back of it. And we've got some internal working papers on this, and we're going to be starting to focus increasingly on AI and ML and start introducing new capabilities within Xpedeon that allow you to leverage this technology. So some of the items that we're thinking about are business signals. Our AI ML routines would constantly monitor the information that is coming in through, identify any significant deviations, events, etc. Use AI ML to start sending business signals that invite attention of the management, where corrective actions need to be taken. We're also looking at how do we use AI ML for more accurate cost at completion forecasting. And that is a major area on which we are going to be pushing the Xpedeon product further along as well. So setting the overall roadmap going ahead for the future, what we're looking at, as we stated, is we continue to continuously augment, enhance our existing core product, which addresses your organization internally. But we're going to now concentrate on making sure the entire ecosystem that you operate within is part of the overall offering that we are working towards, and creating the next level of efficiency using all of these technologies that I've talked about in terms of BIM, integrated planning, artificial intelligence, and enterprise collaboration, putting all that in a truly integrated format to drive some serious efficiencies and benefits for our customers. Now, as I explained earlier, we are talking about a different level of engagement with our customers than what we originally were used to. And what does that mean? We've talked about doing all of these great things, concentrating our spends on a lot of these new technologies. So how are we going to actually go about doing it? And the way we're going to go about doing it is what we are implementing now within the organization called design thinking. And when we talk about design thinking, one of the core aspects is when we are empathizing, when in the empathy phase of design thinking, we need customer involvement. So in all of these great new initiatives that we're going to undertake, we're going to make sure that there is customer participation right from the very early stages of our conceptualizing all of these different products and bringing them out to market. And that is going to be a substantial shift, because traditionally what we've always done is we've done all of the design boards, etc., and then gone back to the customer with the product and then fine-tuned it over a period of time. We believe that that approach works, but it's up for re-engineering as well. And we want to really concentrate on design thinking, which involves our customers working with us to make sure that we deliver breakthrough products that make a real difference. So we will essentially look at some really meaningful insights coming in from our customers before we actually start designing these products and bringing them out into our release distributions. So that's an important shift in our corporate direction in terms of the way we actually develop stuff. Lastly, a huge announcement we want to make. So this has been on the cards for some time now, and it's been on cards. We've really taken our time. We've not really taken any shortcuts, right? And we have looked at how do we use cloud in the best possible format that can enable our customers to drive efficiency in terms of the way they deploy applications within their business. So we went back to the design board. We looked at what we needed to do to Xpedeon to deliver a true SaaS experience to our customers. And what that means is, how do we create efficiencies across all of the different layers within the deployment infrastructure required for our customers? And there's so much wasted capacity across. How do we make sure that we come out with the best possible model? So I'm delighted to announce that we are now ready for commercial distribution of what we call as OnXpedeon. And that is our cloud offering. Xpedeon on the cloud is onXpedeon.com, and essentially that we will be taking into formal release, distribution, and commercial selling fairly soon. We were waiting for this event to actually go ahead and announce on Xpedeon, but yeah, so we've taken our entire Xpedeon product, re-engineered it for the cloud, and we're going to offer it on a true SaaS model. What's important is we've not looked at private hosting. We've actually partnered with Google on this. So OnXpedeon is completely deployed on Google Cloud. And we internally will create all of our, we have created all of our infrastructure on Google Cloud to deploy on Xpedeon on a fully SaaS model to our customers. A few things about this. A, it's built on world-class infrastructure, right? So we've taken care of a lot of aspects to make sure that it's a true SaaS platform. It's a fully managed service. So we take care of all of the upgrades, the updates, everything, right? So it's a normal monthly fee, and essentially everything else is managed by us. It's a completely managed service as a true SaaS platform. We've taken a lot of pains and care to make sure that it is resilient and secure. So we've in the infrastructure that we've created, we've built in a lot of resiliency within the infrastructure in terms of failovers, clusters, secondary failovers, etc., to make sure that our system can deliver a consistent uptime performance to our customers. The other part is it's secure. So we've complied with all of the different security standards that are applicable in terms of cloud deployments of applications. And we are completely compliant with all necessary specifications on that. Lastly, I'd like to mention it. A lot of you are from our existing customer base. Should you decide that you want to move on to the cloud, we will give complete license portability for our existing customers to move on to OnXpedeon. Should you wish to go down that route, that's an option available to you as well. So, you know, with great pleasure, with great pride, I go ahead and announce today OnXpedeon in for release distribution. So, you know, at the end of this, I think I've come to pretty much the end of my talk. But what's important, and the message I really want to convey is, you know, it's really about being close to us. And when we work jointly with you, we work closely in partnership with you, we can deliver great results. And our focus and concentration is on that. And you will see some real changes in the way we interact with you. And I hope Infinity 2020 creates the platform for that. You know, we've always followed these words from Henry Ford, right? Coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. Infinity 2020 is an opportunity for us for a beginning. And let's make sure that we keep this.
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
Yeah. So thanks everyone for attending. And I will now, again, a big thank you for taking your time out. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank all of our organizing team today. They've been great. They've spent a lot of time doing this. So, you know, guys, I'm not going to take names, but a big thank you for all of the guys who've been involved in organizing Infinity 2020. It's a huge undertaking. I know we've got to deal with it in an online format, so that sort of creates a bit of a constraint, but thanks for putting in all the extra hours getting this done. I'd like to give a big thanks to all of our employees, everyone in the development teams and the support teams who've done a great job. We've, you know, even through COVID times, we've managed the same level of support, the same level of engagement with our customers as pre-COVID. And that's a huge hats off to all of the guys involved in these teams. So that being said, you know, I'm pretty much done with what I have to say. I'm going to now hand over to Greg, who will now continue with the next part of the journey for this afternoon. Thank you.
Great. Yannick, thank you very much. Wow. That was great. We have learned so much about the company and how the future roadmap will look for Xpedeon. These are genuinely exciting times. Our company is taking tremendous strides forward to become a disruptive leader in digital transformation. So once again, thank you, Janek, for your time and investment into this. Now, it is time to introduce our first guest, a truly inspirational business leader, David from JM Bentley. Welcome to Infinity 2020. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Greg. It's a pleasure.
Brilliant. Thank you. So, David, I think the first question I'm going to ask you is, what was your expectations of Xpedeon?
Yeah, they were very high and numerous. The first expectation was to have one system to replace the various systems we previously managed. I think, secondly, it was also important to us to have a system that all our employees use, and building on having all employees using it, we wanted our joint venture partners and our supply chain to use the same system. Scalability was another important factor for us, because our previous system was reaching its limit when we purchased, and when we purchased Xpedeon, we was expecting to double our size of our business within 5 years. Becoming even more digital by bringing in more processes that relied on email, separate spreadsheet trackers, that kind of thing into the system was important. And lastly, I think one of the main expectation was to have more and better functionality than our legacy systems had.
Right. So you had some very clear expectations. So my next question would be, do you feel you've achieved those expectations?
Yeah, most certainly my high expectations have been met, and I'm extremely grateful to the great people at Algorithms for their hard work, commitment, and their desire to continue to improve Xpedeon. We now do have one system which all our employees, joint venture partners, and supply chain use. And we actually did double our size of our turnover within 3 years. The scalability that Xpedeon has been a great help in helping us do this 2 years quicker than expected. The mobile app has provided us with great functionality, as it is provided offline functionality, because we always can't get connection on all the places that we work in. It's a great and simple interface that allows less IT capable people to use the system. It's also proved to be a great stepping stone for our users on how to use a core application with this all additional functionality. Form Builder is really starting to take off in our business now. It allows all the employees to use the system. Our site labor are now reporting safety environmental events, which used to burden our site management teams and to record this for the operatives. Now, instead of relying on email, separate documents and tracker spreadsheets, we are bringing more processes online, which saves us time and allows better reporting of the data. We are well underway in bringing all our inspection and testing records into Form Builder. Having this data, which used to be on site files, will allow us to essentially see how far we're on with completion of each project, as we can do with other aspects of projects, such as financial reporting.
Brilliant.
The system really showed its benefit during the COVID, because as we highlighted the need for development of new forms to deal with the pandemic, and so that Form Builder was used to deliver those forms. Great.
Yeah.
E-invoicing has gone from strength to strength. In hindsight, I wish we started auto-rejecting image PDFs from the start and only allowed text PDFs to be submitted. Since we did that switch, we are now seeing the number of auto-matching invoices on the increase. And we expect further improvement on this when we start to use the EDI functionality more and more, as using the data files instead of image PDFs will enable us to improve auto matching, and hopefully it will allow further developments in creating GRNs. The configuration of purchase order types allows us to easily change the way each purchase order works. We've recently just changed the way we've done the site call-off orders without any external help at a timescale of our choosing.
Great.
The plant modules has been really great. We've seen real improvements as a result of the plant scheduling functionality, which has brought about a higher internal plant utilization rate, which I was very pleased to see. And again, the scheduling, the labour process has really brought improvements to how we manage labour, which was previously done on spreadsheets.
I think the first thing I need to do, David, is congratulate you for achieving your business growth within such a short period of time. I think that's quite incredible. And it's really nice to learn about how you've been using the technology built in with Xpedeon. So from those processes, is there any sort of standout items that you've been particularly pleased with?
Yeah, the switch to Xpedeon timesheet has brought us great benefits as it enforces good housekeeping habits, as the system expects prompt timesheet completion, where our legacy system was designed to allow for late timesheets. So the switch has brought about improved cost accuracy. Yeah, after going through this, I'm now not sure why we previously tolerated a system which allowed late timesheets. Yeah, it's gone from many to very few.
Yep.
The switch to Xpedeon timesheet has also brought better visibility of information to our employees, and is already reducing the number of queries we get from employees to the payroll team, because they have access to the employee portal. I think another one with a small thing like the business mileage on the expenses process, incorporating Google Maps is great, because it allows people to automatically calculate distance, which not only improves the speed of completing the expense form, it also provides greater governance, and it reduces the time checking the expense claims. And perhaps one of my favourite areas is the supply chain portal. This is new functionality we did not have in our previous system. It not only allows our supply chain to receive and respond to inquiries, which automatically update the price comparison process. It allows them to self-manage invoice and payment queries, reducing the burden on our accounts team. The portal also allows our supply chain to update their own company information, like insurances and compliance. Again, that moves the burden from our business to our supply chain.
Yeah.
Having for subcontractors, having a simple method for managing order acceptance, submission of applications for payment, and instruction and managing the instruction process is a real huge step forward, which reduces the burden for our commercial team.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Since go live, this is a great example of how Xpedeon has continued to improve the product, as the functionality has been added to allow the supply chain to manage the training and accreditation of their own employees within the system. And this allows us to present it to our site teams. And so that's a great addition to this portal. Additionally, we're just about to start the rollout of the forms process to the supply chain, which will allow the supply chain to directly raise safety environmental events, which will reduce the burden on our site teams having to record them on the system for them. It's a really impressive development, which has not only reduced our company burden managing our supply chain, but also improves the visibility for our supply chain, and it hopefully will reduce the burden of them when working for us.
Great, great. I know from your answers that our good friend Vivek will be very pleased to hear some of the advancements that have been made. So in terms of going back to that original first question, how do you feel that your expectations have been delivered by Xpedeon?
The completion of the rollouts of forms and the HR and payroll systems, which we've just recently done, has completed the journey to replace the legacy system. This only leaves one more significant process to roll out, which is defined cost application payments and commercial valuations, which we are right in the middle of getting ready to go live straight after Christmas.
Right.
However, I don't think it will ever be complete, because one of the factors why we chose Xpedeon is that when I met the people behind the product, I was so impressed by their desire and commitment to continue to improve the product. Yeah, I see the Xpedeon as more of a journey that hopefully we will never complete.
Yeah, great. Great. Yeah, no, it's and I think that's been demonstrated quite a bit by Yannick speak today. So my last question is, what is your expectations for the future?
I was very excited to hear what Yannick said about AI and machine learning, which will further improve the Xpedeon product. It was also great to hear Yannick speak about greater integration with Microsoft processes. Yeah, I look forward to incorporate absence requests within the Outlook calendar and better interface of data for use within Power BI and Power Apps.
Yep.
I most look forward to the time when we can select an employee on documents such as requisitions and orders, so we can better manage the certifications.
Yeah. Brilliant. David, that has been absolutely superb. It's been unbelievable to learn about your objectives and, importantly, the partnership that you have with our business. And I really do look forward to working with you and your colleagues over many years to come. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
So, lastly, our next guest, known as a digital transformation expert, Mohammed, from Goldfire Engineering and Construction. Mohammed, a very warm welcome to Infinity 2020.
Thank you, Craig. Happy to be here.
Excellent. Great. So I'm going to ask you a question, if I may.
Yeah, please.
So before you began your journey with Xpedeon, you were faced with some business critical challenges with your existing legacy system. Would you mind sharing with us today what those challenges were and how you addressed them?
First of all, I want to thank David there, because just listening to David was extremely encouraging for the future, hearing his experience. We being in the middle of our journey, I would say that relative to any legacy systems, regardless of those systems, the tendency of having substantial amount of information silos. And looking at particularly projects in Xpedeon is where our highest satisfaction rate at the moment is at. And that really breaks down when you're running projects across remote sites, myriad of locations, myriad of suppliers, contractors, and so on. Visibility across all these projects becomes extremely important, and you can't really afford to have informational silos. So this is, I feel this is an extremely important key differentiator relative to legacy systems, and
Sure.
This I've found to be very impressive. Looking at Xpedeon, there's a huge amount of niche expertise, I would say, when it comes to projects, and this is a key strength. It's easy to be deluded by the classic modules, if one would say, finance, HRMS, and others. But really, at the end of the day, the business is all about the projects. That's where the money is at. So the better visibility you have on your core product, the happier a specialist construction or an engineering company would be. So I would say that would be sort of my 2 cents on that.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
I was extremely excited to hear about the SaaS offering and the portability of licenses. And I'm definitely going to ask the guys, their partners and family now, that how that would look like in the future for us.
For sure.
That kind of option is extremely desirable. It allows us to move from a CapEx to a more OpEx model. And I think that would drive a lot more value, financially speaking, compared to the on-premise setup right now. So this is an extremely promising direction. And I'm very curious to see how that will play well with the enterprise collaboration suite that's being hinted. That's
for sure.
That's extremely exciting, because I think it's one thing to have visibility across projects, but if you could have a solution that really establishes partnership and collaboration and cross collaboration from one project to the other, then that's when things really get interesting. And that's something I really look forward to with Xpedeon.
Great. Yeah, no, it certainly is an exciting announcement today. So one of the things that, as you kindly touched on projects, one of the things that we looked at was an organization of your size. There is quite a lot of scalability in terms of moving across to a new system. You know, how did you manage that? How did you, because you did it in quite a short period of time, right? So how did you go about doing that?
This, I think, was extremely challenging, and it's efforts on both sides of the aisle. Teams on our end and teams on the Xpedeon end. And I think it's that kind of commitment is extremely important. A lot of partners tend to provide blanket solutions. And these blanket solutions do not necessarily cater to this particular industry. Construction and engineering is important. So it's that partnership commitment that I'm experiencing with Xpedeon. I think that's key, because at the end of the day, it's really not about the product. You're doing business with the people behind the product or the brand, and that is clearly visible in our operating model with Xpedeon.
Brilliant. So, Mohammed, you are a digital transformation leader, and how do you see the future landscape?
Two words I really hate: selling the future and expectations. Expectations is a very tricky word. I think the future landscape, we could go on about all these buzzwords: digital transformation and machine learning and AI and the different applications. But I think design thinking, the earlier slide Janak was showing us on design thinking, I think that's extremely smart. A lot of legacy systems, although perhaps substantially huge on capability, just don't speak to today's user in terms of ease of use, extensibility. So I think this is an area that Xpedeon has done well in, but there is so much opportunity down the road. And listening to the announcement today, it's actually quite exciting. And I'm waiting to pick David's brain on timesheets. I want to really learn about his
Brilliant, fantastic, Mohammed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that both yourself and David are extremely busy. So the time that you guys have invested to talk to us today has been absolutely awesome. And it's really nice to know and to understand how you see digital transformation playing out in your business. So once again, thank you so much for your time. Very nice to meet you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure for me to have the opportunity to host Infinity 2020, our first global event. Today, we have seen the incredible power of the human mind to adapt to incredibly difficult challenges. I hope that we have achieved our goal of creating unity so that collectively we are stronger, sharing a common goal. Please keep safe and healthy. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining us today. That is goodbye. Bye-bye.